Hello, welcome back. I've got somewhere to be soon, but I figured I might have enough time that I could get through another point, maybe. I'm going to try for Super Hang On. I'm not sure how well I'll do. It might take me a minute. Having a little bit of a rough start this morning. Cat's throwing up, and my phone's got something wrong with it. Happy Saturday. Alright, that wasn't so great. And the turning in this is interesting. Takes a minute to figure out. Alright. It seems sometimes like actually I can turn tighter with the booster on, which I don't see what sense that makes. The thing about this arcade mode in this one is like, it feels like no matter what you do, it's always going to be tight. And the cool thing about that is that, like, I mentioned the other time I played this, comparing it to like F-Zero. But the thing about a game that has like really clear, because like your first instinct is those are better games because they're more realistic in terms of like there's a first, second, third, fourth place. Whereas this one, there's no such thing. It's all just beating a timer, which is easier on the memory. So it kind of shows its weakness. I kept looking for like indie racing games at one point to play. I was trying to get more into like retro-styled indie games. And I couldn't find anything really that used the system that like this game and Outrun, and even like Daytona to a degree uses, where it's all about timed checkpoints. I couldn't find a lot like that also like had like similar like quasi retro graphics. That kind of surprised me because it's like clearly people don't see the benefit of these games. The cool thing about the timing thing, even though it can be frustrating sometimes, is that it means that like every race is exciting. You're always right on the edge. Whereas games that actually have the places in them, the problem with those is that if you're far enough ahead of the pack, you can pretty much just relax. It's just a cruise at that point. And it's quite common to get into that position. Whereas there's just no real challenge anymore. It's like either you're so far behind that nothing matters, or you are so far ahead. And now sometimes in this game you do get into a position where you're so far behind on the timer that there really isn't a point any longer. But every race you win here is an exciting one. So there's only 7 seconds left when I pass through that checkpoint. I've got an angry, that's it. Nope, it's over now. A cat distracted me and now I'm gone. I was just thinking, because he was coming up, meowing. I knew he was going to jump on this desk. And he didn't do it, but I was getting ready to pause the game to deal with him. So that pretty much ends my run, I think. Because that's the one thing, man. This game, there's no recovering. Like, I probably was already doomed earlier in from all the stops and stuff. You kind of have to run a perfect game. But I have done it. I've gotten to the end of the beginner mode before, so I know I can do it. But of the games I've started, this is the hardest one, I think. This one can be incredibly, because it's just perfect or nothing every time. Got to get the practice in, though. Try some different music. I've actually played a fair bit of the Master System game as well, the first one, and it's kind of an endless game. It's interesting, but that's the one that like there was gear shifting, but you pretty much got into the high gear and then you just stayed there. Close one. Learning the right times to use the brake would help me a lot. I often get off the accelerator in moments where actually a little bit of braking would probably be a good idea. I think. I'm not 100%. Bowie, you're really messing me up, man. You're making it real hard to concentrate. It's a good little boost. Yeah, I feel like I'm quieter in this one. This game's intense. Whenever I start skidding, I think I'm trying to go to the brake for just a second, just to regain control. That's so much of this game, is making sure you're always in control of the bike. That turn is ridiculous. A little more, a little more. Come on. It doesn't feel like all of my time carries over. So they won't let me get too far ahead. Frick. That was bad. That was worse. Why did I do that? This traffic's getting annoying. Bowie. Yeah, that's once again most likely the end of my run. I'm not alright. I'm starting to give up. I'm clearly not even trying anymore. Yep, another one in the dirt. Alright, one more chance. Ever tried to ride a motorcycle through Africa with a cat meowing in your ear and trying to paw at you? I do not neglect this cat. This cat gets more attention than any cat who's ever lived. And that's the problem. He's so spoiled. What the heck was that? Who does this guy think he is? And see, it seems like it's always going to like 42 or 45. No matter how much time I have left on the clock, it's always the same. So it really is just don't crash, don't end up on the side burner. Like, that probably just ruined my whole run. Then again, if it's always resetting to the same point, perhaps it doesn't really matter. So, like, if you get through every stage, then you're always starting off in the same place. Like, you're never having to, like, oh, I didn't have 20 extra seconds on the clock, so there's no way I can win this area. No, it's always the same. You just gotta memorize the lines, get good at the controls, and get through it. I remember beating the beginner mode here and it taking me quite a while. I'm nervous about trying to go further, like trying to beat any of the other arcade modes. Because just this one's going to take me several tries. I doubt this will be the one. There's something about that particular turn. I feel it every time. Come on. It's obnoxious. It's almost silly to even have a mechanic where you crash and then recover. Because once you've done that, you're not finishing. There's just no way. They give you only barely enough time for a perfect run. And remember, this is the beginner mode. This is the easiest way to play this game. Oh, come on. That's it for that. Alright, I'm done, guys. I'm sorry. I thought I was going to get another point today, but now I'm just frustrated. That's part of gaming, though. You're going to see quite a lot of that over the course of this whole thing. Maybe I'll give Golden Axe a try a little bit later and come back to this after.